From the IMTV Wave Channel 5 studio at Greenville Senior High School, home of the Greenville Green Wave, the Greenville Veterans Memorial Park and Digital Library proudly presents Never Stop Serving. And now, your host, Mike Maloney.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to our next to last episode for the season. We're at 18 now. I always have good examples, you know that. Before we get started on 18 here, I wanted to talk. Mother's Day is here in just a couple days, and I was running around frantically trying to find a perfect example for Mother's Day. Well, it turns out I didn't really find anyone that I could drag into the studio, but I do want to talk about my own mother. She, in her own right, is a perfect example of what we're doing here. I know I'm a little biased because she's my mother, but give it a chance here. First, let me tell you about her. She was born Carrie Ruth Maloney. She is a Greenville alumni. She graduated and was very proud to be a class of the Greenville 49ers, 1949. And then after graduation of high school, she married my dad, who was a master sergeant in the Air Force. So she maintained a home for a master sergeant in the Air Force. She had 7 kids in 10 years. From 1955 to 1965, she had 7 kids. To me, that in herself deserves some kind of award. But she had those 7 kids while my dad was serving 2 tours in Vietnam. So she took care of those kids all by herself for some time. Took care of those 4 out of 7 kids. I'm sorry, 4 out of 7 of those kids became veterans themselves. That to me is amazing. So in other words, she was married to a veteran and she had 4 veterans of her own. So there's a big shout out to my mom. Happy Mother's Day, the late Carrie Ruth Maloney. She went by Ruth Maloney. She herself also was a past president of the VFW. There's a picture of her there. And hopefully we'll see these other pictures also. We'll get them in there and show them to you. But happy Mother's Day to my mother. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. If you haven't talked to your mother today, make sure you give her a call. All right, on to our show. Again, always an excellent example. We have the department head from the Darke County Veterans Service office here, Tom Pitman. Tom, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Tom, please start off by telling us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you came from, your parents, where you grew up, where you went to high school, anything significant there, your military service, and then we'll talk about what you do now.
Okay, I was born here in Greenville at Wayne Hospital and lived in the Darke County area for my entire life. Went to Tri-Village High School and graduated in 1985. My parents, Frank and Betty Pitman, still live here in Greenville. And in 1986, I joined the Air Force and served 24 years and retired in 2010.
And you retired as a
Senior Master Sergeant.
Senior Master Sergeant. Oh, thank you very much for that. What do you do now?
Well, now I'm the department head at the Darke County Veterans Services Office. And Ohio does a really good job of taking care of veterans, and each county has a veteran service office, and we provide assistance with VA claims, helping people file VA claims, helping people file for medical benefits. We provide transportation to the Dayton VA and the Cincinnati VA medical centers, and we also provide financial assistance to veterans.
And you said you provide transportation to the VAs.
Yes.
How far in advance do you have to schedule that? And do they need to talk to you? Normally,
what the policy is to call the driver. Our driver does all of his own scheduling. So a veteran, if they had an appointment, would call the driver by noon the day before the appointment, and then they would set up a time to pick them up, and they would take them down to their appointment.
And the financial system assistance, how do veterans in need go about asking?
Well, it's an emergency financial assistance, and what it is they would provide us with all of their bills and all of their income for the last 30 days, and based on the emergent need, then we would help them by providing either food assistance or help them pay utilities or help them out with their rent.
Right.
but it had to be an emergency situation.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, we had somebody here with PTSD. If there's somebody out there struggling with that, do you have any services for that, or referrals or anything like that?
Normally what we do is if someone comes in and they're suffering from PTSD, then we would first help them get some immediate help by connecting them with the Dayton VA Medical Center. The mental health section at the Dayton VA Medical Center has a lot of services for PTSD sufferers, and then we would also ask them if they have filed a claim with the VA for PTSD, and if they haven't, we would help them do that.
Right, okay. What else? What does Veteran Service have coming up in the future? You got any future?
The biggest thing we do every year is some outreach at the Darke County Fair, which we all know is the biggest thing in Darke County.
Right.
And for the last 2 years, we've had the Air Force Band of Flight come down and perform. What we do on Veterans Day, which is Wednesday of the fair each year, is we set up the band's concert, and we have the band come out and play. And then last year, we gave away T-shirts to all the veterans who came out, and this year we're going to be giving away hats.
Excellent, excellent. So you got the fair coming up, and that's in August, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll look at that. What about, do you have any family that you want to talk about or anything like that?
Well, as a matter of fact, I was the first person in my family to join the military. And since then, my son has joined the Army, and my daughter has joined the Air Force. She has been in the Air Force for 13 years now.
Wow.
She's a recruiter out in Portland, Oregon. And my son is currently deployed to Africa. He's in the Army.
What does he do in the Army?
He started out in Airborne, now he's in Civil Affairs Division.
Okay. And what did you do in the Air Force, Tom?
I worked in a civil engineer squadron. Started out as a water treatment specialist and then moved into plumbing. And then as I started making rank, I went into production control, work orders, and because civil engineering does all of the maintenance and repair on all the facilities on the base.
Right.
So I would be responsible to track all of that work and manage the projects. And also got to, while I was in Alaska, I was the liaison between the Civil Engineer Squadron and the Flying Squadron, who had exercises where different countries would fly in and they would do training exercises. Well, we would put the targets out on the bombing ranges. So we would build the targets, and then we would have to have them airlifted in conjunction with the Army, fly those targets out and place them on the ranges out in the middle wilderness.
Wow.
And then they would, during the exercises, they would come in and blow them up. And then, of course, we'd have to go out and clean them up, clean up the munitions, and then reset the targets for the next exercise.
Wow. Okay. All right. What else? What have we forgotten? Anything else at the Darke County Veteran Service? You guys provide transportation, emergency financial assistance. You got a presence out at the fair. What am I missing? Anything else?
Well, and we try to basically anything a veteran needs, if they come in and ask us, we will help them find out. If we don't have the answer, we'll find out who has the answer. We have some homeless veterans in Darke County, and we help them by connecting them with the Dayton VA Medical Center's homeless programs as well. So it's sort of a one-stop shop for veterans who need any assistance in the county.
Right. So again, if you don't know where to start, this is obviously a good place. We'll put your information, your Darke County information up. If we can, we'll flash a little slide or something up here, show his information. If you need any kind of assistance or anything, you know who to call now, Tom Pitman. There we are. Anything else, Tom?
Well, I just want to say that it might be a little known fact that Ohio has the 6th largest veterans population in the country. And
I didn't know that.
When you think of states as big as Texas or California, you might think they And they do have a very large population, but a lot of people don't realize that Ohio is the 6th largest veteran population with 866,000 veterans in the state of Ohio. And we have 3,900 of those veterans here in Darke County. So being in this job as my second career is very rewarding, and I'm very proud of my service, but I'm also very proud of my service here in the Darke County Veteran Services Office as well.
No, well, we really appreciate you coming in to talk to us, and thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for never stop serving. And if you need anything, we'll show that graphic and let them know. Okay. I got a little bit of trivia for you on the Darke County Service Office. Anybody contact us by email or something like that to give me the answer. What president started this program, this veteran service program? If you can tell me what president started this, I'll send you a prize. First person. How's that? Tom, thank you again very much for being here.
You're welcome.
Next week will be our last show of the season. School's going to be out of session, of course, so we're going to take a break over the summer. But make sure you join us next week, because we're going to have our awards ceremony. We have some awards to give out, and lots to be thankful for. So tune in with us next week. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Call your mom if you haven't already. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Please visit us on our social media sites. Please consider contributing to our mission in some way. Also, we are always looking for veterans and their families to share their stories with us. Be sure to join us next week for our next episode of Never Stop Serving.